What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here. In today's video, we're going to be going over the email builder and how to launch email campaigns. We're going to be breaking down email workflows at the end of the video. So if that's what you're really into, make sure you check the timestamps below and you can jump to the end of that video. With that, let's jump in today's video. It's going to be great. Everybody's been looking forward to this. I've had a lot of people asking questions. If you could please do me a favor and like and subscribe to today's video. And with that, let's jump on in. Okay, so to access the email builder, we're going to go right down here to marketing on the left main panel. Then you're going to see right here at the top, you've got email. So you've got the ability to go email campaigns and email templates. We're going to first jump into email templates. Then we're going to go campaigns. We're going to talk about launching it, A/B split tests, and all that stuff's going to be covered, as well as I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the builder and well as building out at the end, I'm going to show you how to even build out a nurture campaign. So make sure you stay to the end. So again, if you got right here, you're going to go with templates. Today, I'm just going to show you how to make a quick template for YouTube videos. So we go through here. I always recommend going and making a folder. All right. And next thing you know, once you're in, you're going to hit create a template. Now you have the ability to do a plain edit a text editor. You can use code or use the designer. We're going to break down the designer today. I'm going to show you everything you need to know as we build this email out. So at the beginning, you've got your name. We're going to call this YouTube template because we're going to use it for all of our YouTube stuff from now on. Oh, there we go. And now I'm purposely going to leave the footer off because I want to show you when we're launching how it's now starting to even scan your emails and give you ideas on problems you're having and all types of stuff like that. It's really cool. And right now, we're just going to go over real quick all the elements. Pretty straightforward. You've got your basic text element, which is the same as the start from scratch here. It's really affected more by up at this menu bar right here. You've got the ability now to put custom fields and custom values and almost everything. You can link. You even got the ability to use AI in your different messaging and things like that. If you want to make a duplicate, you can right here. You can also hide it from mobile versus desktop. This is a new big feature right here. This one right here, this little green little squiggly squoo, whatever you want to call it. It is a conditional, okay? And the cool thing is now when you click this on, a conditional pop-up appears here we can set for all devices, mobile or desktop. And then you can see it's set for conditional sending, and that's now permanently green where it was white now before. And then you go in and you can set your different conditions. Like right here, maybe I want it to be a city is, and then Texas or Austin or something like that, whatever it is. You can set a whole bunch of different stuff based off of your different conditions that you've got set up. So you can come in, switch it out, but you're all going to have to choose that from a custom field. So just know your conditions are going to be set off a custom field. So this would be good for if you're doing conditional email sending for maybe people who have done a certain action, or maybe they're, like I said before, maybe they're in a certain state or city or something like that, and you want someone that meets a certain criteria because they maybe have a certain zip code. That would be a great one. You could come in here and you could find zip code. We'll just say we'll pretend like here, or we'll just say state. We'll say state is California or whatever. So now you send out your entire list, but only people in California are going to see this special one. And you technically could do one for each state, have a different one to make a long email, but each state would see a different different offer or different condition or whatever it is. Anyway, next one is if you want to save this item, you can hit save, and then you're able to use this right here underneath saved items. See this little diskette right here. And then the last thing we're going to do right there is trash it. Same thing from here. Now you have this standard one that's always in here, view this email in browser, which if you go to the elements, you're going to see that guy is right here. Preview URL email is the exact same one, just so that you know. This one's great. It allows people that are in desktop to be able to click it and they can see it in their desktop browser versus having to see it in whatever provider they're using for the email that they're reading it or whatever it is. Next thing, just a basic image. A lot of this stuff is very basic. You are going to see now that they do have this slider, the ability to change its size by grabbing this little tiny dot right here. And then you'll see all the rest of it's the same at the top, just like always. You'd come right here. You'll see the link is going to go to whatever Google, whatever image you're using. You can use it to create AI. You just go in your image library. Let's say that we're doing this. Let's use this little AI quiz one right there for that. And then you'll see it will appear. And if I wanted to shrink it up or size it, now this one you can see it's sized a little funny. And this is locked. You see how this is sort of locked in there on its size. Now, if you wanted to change that up, you could just come right here and change the size or the width to whatever you wanted. So if I wanted to make this like 450 and well, the height's really high. And then maybe bring the height down or whatever it is. And then you can come over here, you have your alternate text. This helps a lot for like SEO. Then if you want it to be clickable, now that's one that a lot of people don't realize you can make images clickable in here just by hitting this link. And then you've got the ability to change the background color. You can align it, of course. You change your different padding. If you want to change the padding on or off, you can see how it instantly disappears. Then your visibility for mobile only, desktop, and then your conditional in case you don't want to use the little clicky green guy here, the little squiggly do. You can turn it on here underneath the visibility setting. You can then also delete it if you don't like that image and then switch it out for whichever one you like or don't like. Let's go and delete that guy. Next thing would be a button. Same basic thing as before. Every other button you've ever seen come in here. You've got your text for your button is right here. You have the ability to use contact fields, or you can go to custom values, which is pretty cool. So you could technically put in here, hi, Jeff or Funnel Doc or whatever you can put for first name. Click this button or something if you want to customize it. So always play along with that. I recommend anytime that you see one of these tags, I mean, you can use custom fields or custom values. Play around with it. It's obviously being used enough by other people in different spots that they found it valuable enough to make it a function or an option. So use it as much as possible. It obviously helps a lot. So then you've got your AI content even for the button, which is really funny. And then you've got your different fonts as well as your sizing here, your ability to bold it. For this one, I would leave this in the button in here. This one I would put watch, since we're doing this for YouTube, watch YouTube video, or watch the video, something like that, exclamation point. And then I'd come in here and leave the font color, change that to match YouTube so it's red. No border, leave everything else the same. This URL right here, the link URL, would just go out to whatever the YouTube video is, but since we're making a template, we'll just keep it the same. Boom, we'll leave that in there. We would want to add the next one. Again, the visibility is going to always be the same for all these pretty much. The next thing we've got is a logo. So we'll put this at the top. Now, this is going to pull whatever the logo is exactly for that sub account. So just know that it's going to pull that logo for whatever it is for that sub account. So I'm going to make this black here in the background. Again, you got your alternate text, your links, makes it clickable. We went over this before. And then we're going to go with background here. Let's make this black. Boom. All right. And then the next thing is your divider. So this is just a basic normal divider. So if I want to put something in here, you can see you have your different lines. You can see you have your color. You've got your ability, your height, width. You can change your dash, dotted, etc. Visibility is always the same on that. Let's delete this. We don't need that in the email. Then you've got your social media. Now, here's something to keep in mind. What's the purpose of this email? For me, it's just to get them clicking and going to YouTube. So I'm not going to put any of this in here because I don't want them all of a sudden checking out Facebook or X or Pinterest or LinkedIn or any of these other ones. The whole purpose of this email is for YouTube. Plus, from my experience, the more links that you have, the higher it has for chances of spam, because Google and different email services see multiple links out as they're to offers or different things like that, and they usually will rate it as potential spam or higher they'll go to the promotion box instead of the inbox. So let's just keep in mind that's I usually don't go more than 2 or 3 links out on my email. And for this one, all 3 links go to the email itself. So the next thing I always would do, or for this one, I'm just going to put some little text right here at the bottom. So we've got a text line. Now you'll see how this got him out of this misorder. You can easily fix that. If you come right here to the side, you'll see it does the movement arrow, and then I can just drag and drop. I'm going to put this here because I actually just usually will have ChatGPT write my basic YouTube email. So I'll just cut and paste them in here. Does a really good job, teases them, puts the link in there. And I have ChatGPT write 5 subject lines that I can split test, which I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second here after we get through all these elements. So the next thing we're going to do is we don't need the footer. We're going to leave that in last so that I can show you. It gives you that warning. If you wanted to add any code, if you had anything like you're embedding or something like that, you can see you could put that code in right here, and then that element would appear right here wherever it is. So it could be a calendar link or, an embed code for a calendar or for maybe some other type of widget. Or I used to say I'd use a timer, but now you can use those from your actual HighLevel account. So an invisibility is always the same on these guys. So let's delete this guy right here. Boom. And then we've got video. This we're going to pull out. We're going to put it right there. For some reason, it's dropping funny. And then this was where I would drop the video. I'd come in right here, put the YouTube URL. You can see right here, you can do Vimeo, Wistia, HTML, Loom, or YouTube. I'm going to be using YouTube. Again, visibility is all the same there. And then you've got your width, your height. You can change the play button right here in the middle. So I like it a little bit larger. And then you've got your opacity for your play button. So if you want to make it darker or brighter right here, you'll see it. They can play this video, they'll hit it, and it will take them directly to the actual video on YouTube. So it does help with your views. And I'll just put that there. You've got your padding. Visibility is always the same as always. And then your last one here, we've got shopping cart. So this one I'm not going to put on my template, but I'll go over this one. Then you've got your RSS header or items. Now, if you're familiar with RSS feeds, highly recommend you using this. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. I'll make a whole series on RSS. If somebody or get some comments down below saying RSS, I'll definitely build the series out. But it's pretty much when you're doing it, you just know that this is going to be your header right here. I mean, it's self-explanatory. And these are your items. And then depending on how you've got the feed set up, when it comes in, it's going to pull in the information and it'll populate accordingly. There's all different help articles on that. Or if you, like I said, if I get some people saying they're interested in RSS, I'll do a whole series on how to set up RSS. They'll go out all the time. I had one going out for a while whenever HighLevel was putting out updates, but it was just constantly going off because they're putting so much updates. So you've got the title that will pull in the feed title, and then this would pull in the item, and then like if it was an image associated with it or anything like that. Let's delete these bad guys. And they're really straightforward. It's really more about when you're doing the final settings, and I'll show you in the settings for the sending. There's an RSS section, and I'll talk about that, and that's what affects this versus anything else as far as in the editing. And visibility always the same. Then if you wanted to add a FAQ section, which it's cute, it's dynamic, so it moves, and you'll just click over here, and you would open it up, and you just write inside what you would want. So if I wanted here, if I want anything there, if I wanted, you can position the icons to the right side or the left side by moving, or like by the left, actually better. You can change your icons up here for if you want it for when they're open or closed. You can see this one's the closed one, and when you click on it, this is the open one. It actually just switches. Doesn't have an actual animation. It just actually switches between the chevrons. And then your visibility is the same. I don't know if I'd ever use a FAQ, but you might. Pretty cool in here. I keep my emails really simple. Unless I'm doing a nurture-based campaign, introduction-based campaign, something that's bringing someone in and you really want to hook them with stories and stuff like that. Then I get more in depth in my emails. But normally my emails are for information, or they're sending someone to go and give information. So unless I'm trying to really hook them in for an offer or to take action with something where I want to tell a story or make an emotional ask or something in the email, I keep them short and sweet. I don't put a lot of graphics in there. There's anything that can make it look too spammy. Um, there's a chance it could get sent to promotion or something. So I try and keep stuff very, very simple. Next thing we got is the image slider. Now, this is pretty cool. I would consider maybe using this, again, if you had different stuff that you're trying to promote, and it's just like normal, you've got your different images down here. You can slide through them, see how it circulates through here and how it highlights to which image it is. When you just go over, click the image, and that's going to be populated by here. Where you select your image, you can create it by AI again, or upload it from to your image library. And then this would be the clickable link. So you'd have it so then when it went through the images, if you want them to go out to a certain product, have this to go to that product page. And you got your padding at the bottom. You got the ability to round your corners more. So if you decided that you wanted to have it, I like a 25. So not a 225, let's do the 25. There you go. You got your background color. You can enable thumbnails. That's what these guys at the bottom are for. You see if you turn those on or off. Then you got your thumbnail radius, thumbnail width. You can do your hover color. See how right there you can see how it changes to this nice little sort of greenish color here. If I wanted to make it maybe black, you see now they're black when I hover on it, or red, or whatever it is, and it changes up. And then your selected one, you can also change that up here. You're including arrows. If you want to have these on the side here to be able to rotate through, you turn those off or on like so. And then you can also change up what type of icon. So maybe you wanted to have it the circle arrow with the pointed arrow or something different for each side to rotate through. It may whatever makes sense for you. You could put that right there. And then visibility, as always, is always the same. Again, this is going to be my sort of base template that I'm going to be using. Again, you have the preview URL, and then finally the timer that I talked about before. They do have this ability to now put your own timers in emails. You can make them, which is really cool. If you go to sites, to timers, you can design your own timers, and then you'll be able to pull them from that column. This is just a basic one you have right now. You can see if I wanted to edited, it's actually going to take me into the timer section right now. We're not going to get into the timers. I'll do a whole video on those some other time. Timers, time. So back to the email. And then that's pretty much it for my template. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Like I said, I put the video in here and then have Chat GPT help me with the copy so I don't have to write it. Just keep it simple. But then here's what I do. I come over here and you see this guy right here where it says, oh, this is a template. Can't do it in template. So you have to only do it in campaign. Sorry. So let's save this template. And now I'll just go over these real quick and show you the last thing. If you ever want to change the layout, you can see everything's right now is very much one column straight up and down. You can drag this in and I could put an image in here like this guy right here. Boom. There we go. And it give me this section down here, or I can change it up and I can put this section here or here, so you can get your own pre-done image section, pre-populated if you want, which is pretty cool. And then again, you've got the ability to save it, delete it. You can save different images, all the same stuff as always. Or if you wanted to do even more segmented, maybe you want to do an image text button or something, you come in and you grab like this little two column here. You could drag that in on the bottom. And then if I wanted to, just like before, you can see the grabbers are here. So if I wanted to move that up or down, I could come in and do that. Move this out of the way. There we go. Now we'll save this template. Now we're going to jump into we're going to send a campaign. I'm going to walk you through everything you know about sending the actual email template. Then we're going to jump into actually creating a nurture campaign with it and explaining how to create the workflows using that. Last thing we'll get out of here before is, again, your appearance. These are different things that you can set up for this template if you want to have something you're doing a lot of it. So like for instance this button, if I want all my buttons the color instead to be blue or whatever it is, these glasses mess up, yeah, blue, or whatever font I want to use, you can preset these different dividers, the mobile formatting, your link color, your other stuff as far as your background image or templates, like I said, button dividers. There, you can set that up here. And then, like I said, any saved elements, once you've done something, you like it a lot or whatever, you can save those right here. I really don't use that much. I use the templates a lot more. Last thing we're going to go over right at the top before we get into sending is right here. You can send a test email, preview template, see versions of saved, and then your actual settings, which if you go into your settings, this just sends you to your settings, the same thing you get before you send it. You get set. So you see the YouTube template is right here. Now, this really should say, it says campaigns, and when we go to campaigns, we've got email campaigns and workflow campaigns. Where workflow campaigns are ones we're going to get to in a minute, where you can show it for a certain date. We're going to set it coming up, Thanksgiving or Black Friday is coming up, so we'll just go ahead and I'll show you how you would set a campaign up for Black Friday, as well as the nurture campaign coming up. The thing is, I personally think instead of email campaigns, it should say email, it should say email blast or email broadcast or something. Not a campaign is a series of, it's just not one. And anytime you do an email campaign here, it's going to be a one up. And you go to campaign, the first thing is always we're going to look at before we get into the campaign is your settings. Go right here to the settings icon. Now, this is your attribution window. So where they came from or what different product campaigns or different campaigns are associated, like how did they come in? So it's got a 5-day window there. Verified sender emails. So if you have a list of verified emails, currently use the sender field. You can verify an email. If you had any emails that you wanted to make sure they're getting the inbox, you could make sure they're there. Your sender preferences. So you could come up here and for your test emails, remember this is for your test emails, not for all of them. You could put in whatever you want and save it so it would send to certain emails, certain recipients, that type of thing. I should probably put mine in here since I do it all the time. Bam. So put that guy in there. Next thing are fonts. If you have any specific fonts that you want to import, you just come right here. You then go in, pick what fonts you want to use, especially like I like Pop-In, so let's add that font in right now. Now it's available. Next thing is UTM tracking. Now this is a big one here. So if you want to track click performance tracking, you can click this on. So this is each time a link is clicked or whatever, it's going to track that. But then you've got the ability to track UTM, where you come in here and your source, you can see they've already got these permanently marked. You've got your sources email, your medium is email marketing, but then you could come in and change up your different campaigns. So if you've got a campaign right now, you could do it the campaign name, you could do it campaign ID, date, or you could even add other UTM parameters. So if I want to come in and add something specific for it, I could add that in there as well. And for anyone who doesn't know, UTM stands for Urchin Tracking Module. And this just allows for leveling types of tracking. So there you go. So those are all the settings. This is one a lot of people have been asking about. Recommend that you set this up and use it as much as possible. It will help with the ability to track your email campaigns throughout HighLevel. Next thing we're going to get into is your actual email campaign itself. To do that, you're going to come here. You can either hit the create campaign or new. You will either be able to start with blank, an email template, or your template. If you look right here, you'll see that there are tons of templates that HighLevel has created. Some of them are, very bright and colorful. There's some great emails here. I personally wouldn't use them, but that's just something I want you to know that it's there. Then we're going to go to your templates, which are mine. So we'll click right there. And then we're going to choose the template, and then we'll use YouTube. And there you go. You can see everything set up right here. If I wanted to, I just grab a YouTube video. Let's grab my last one as a demo. And see, this is the great thing about it. All I do is I come in here, I'd add the URL. It pulls everything, looks great. I then would have it. So then what I would do is I go into ChatGPT and I ask it to write an email for me. Now, mind you, this is a specific email one that I use every time. So I've worked with it, so it comes up with this. So then what I do is I tell it what it's about, I give it the link, and it even embeds the link for me, which is really cool. If I click right here, you'll see this will open up right directly to that video. Boom, there you go. So I'll come in, it tells you what you're going to learn, etc., tags me out, and then it gives me the 5 subject lines that I want. Here we go. So I would come in, and all I do is I highlight this first guy right here, just highlight the whole thing that's sent to me, copy it, come on in. I then paste it in, highlight everything inside here, paste it in just like so. Change this guy right here so it doesn't say heading, that's a paragraph, just like it matches everything else. I usually upscale, it sets it at 14. I like 16, just a little bit bigger font. And as you can see right there, it looks great. Every once in a while, I'll double check it to make sure everything's good, looks good. Highly recommend that you're going to send yourself a copy of this always. Do not try and just send it right out. There's going to be something that might mess up. I test all the links. I click them all, make sure before I ever send this out. Again, so that's super easy to do. Now you see I've got watch the video. Again, we don't have the bottom footer yet. It's going to do a reminder on that. You see here before, if you look and you wanted to ever look at your layers or you're having trouble finding stuff on an email, you can go right here to your layers section and then see how stuff's all broken down. And then as you hover, you see it actually clicks or it goes to the different spots. You've again got your appearance, which is stuff we talked about before. Next thing's the A/B split testing. This is the magic I was talking about. You want to turn this bad boy on. There's 2 different things you can split test for. When you're split testing, pick one thing, work on that, then go to the next. I always recommend split testing first your email subject lines. If you can't get them to open, it doesn't matter how good the content is, they're not opening the email. So I always recommend going subject. Once you start nailing your subject lines and you're like, yeah, you're getting good open rates, then you can start split testing content. I wouldn't recommend testing too much of the same stuff at the same time. You always just want to pick one thing. Once you start split testing multiple different things, it's sort of hard to know what is making the tweak when you get a lift. You know what I mean? So the next thing is, how long do you want these emails to go out? I usually just go for like an hour. I'll have all my emails go out within an hour. Maybe you have a reason why you're split testing this over time. Maybe you want more to last in the evening. If you launch it in the morning and you set it for, like 12 hours or whatever, you're going to have from 6 to 6, you're going to be having an equal amount of emails go out during that time. And then what's going to do is however many versions you set it for, I usually max it out. And well, I don't max it out. I like 5. I don't max it out. It's 6 is max, but I like 5. I usually go with 5. And then you'll see it has a little breakup chart here and how it's distributed. And then you've got your test size of how much you want to actually test. If you want to do like 100%, do you want to do 50% of your list? How much do you actually want to do a test group of your list? And it takes that percentage, splits it out, that type of thing. So I usually go pretty high on it depending on how much. And you can see how the percentages break down here as you go on. If you go down list, test size 30% shrinks on down and goes all the way up. And then the next thing is you've got your variations. And this is what I'll just come in and I've got it print out and it will come in and give it. And I just literally will come in and copy and paste these bad boys in just like so. And I'll take off that there. Boom. And you can see this guy is going to get 18% of the emails. Everybody's going to get 18%. And at the bottom, you can pick what is your criteria, unique open rate or unique click rate. I would recommend using unique open rate when you're doing subject line. When you're testing the content, use the click rate, because really when you're inside the email, your content inside the email is what's getting the click. The subject line gets the open, content gets the click. So test those things accordingly. So I'm going to leave this like that. And I would just go through and paste all these guys in. Once I'm happy with everything, again, you can come right here. I would send a test email. You're going to see how it pre-populated. Remember how I saved it before. So we'll go to test email again. Your sender's name, I put the funnel. And then you've got your send test to, who you're going to send it to, support. There we go. And then your subject line, you can pick whichever variation you want, or you can even put in your own custom one. You can just randomly pick one. It doesn't really matter. And then your preview text. If you don't have a preview text, once your subject line runs out, it's then going to start showing the first couple of lines of your email. If you're okay with that, just leave it empty. If you have something specific that maybe you want it to say when they're scrolling, you can put that preview text there. Then you've got your email subject right here, and then you've got the ability for these to be the default sender and receiver emails. And then you just hit send your email, and then you test it on out, just like you normally would. You'll see a test right here. And then I always go through, check it all, make sure all the buttons are working, all the links are working, everything's good to go. Now you'll see it didn't give me any warnings or anything because that was a test email. But now once we move, say we're happy with the test email, we're moving to sending and scheduling now, you'll have these four at the top right here. Now you can see you can attach a file. You can attach videos, you can attach PDFs, you can attach almost anything to this guy. You can even do audio files. Anything that can be uploaded to a media file inside a HighLevel can technically be attached. You can come right here and you see this file should be within 10 megabytes for this size though, for 10. So you got to keep that in mind. This is going to be your little tester right here. You can sort of see what it's going to look like. You can see already I've got right here required fields, warning. Sender info is missing, subject is missing, minimum contacts is not met, and I've got a unsubscribe link is missing. So I really like this. I think this is going to be helping out for a lot of people when they get better, when they get for newer people when they're getting into it, just forgetting little things. So what I would do now is, again, it's already saved, but I would just back it out. You can never hit save too much. I hit save all the time. So the next thing we go to element, and then I would just come down here and grab the footer. Where are you? Right here, footer, and make sure this is at the bottom. Move this guy up. We're gonna move this preview, this view in browser. I like to keep that at the top actually. Let's move this guy up. There we go. Actually, one more up, right there. Bam. All right, looking good, looking good. So then I would go to send. Now, there's some cool stuff beyond what I've already showed you. Now, we've got the ability to send now, schedule. You could batch schedule, and you could do the RSS schedule. So you're going to want to come in here first. You're going to put who your sender email is. There we go. And the sender name. And then your different subject lines if we wanted to put them in there. And then you've got the ability to set up your RSS stuff and your batch schedule. Now, batch is really great for especially when you're first warming up your email campaigns. And if you go to the HighLevel docs, so you'll see right here is an email sending guide, best practices for email warm up. This tells you everything you need to know about email warm up. I'm going to have a link down below in the comments. So if you need it, you can find it down there. If not, just Google email warm up in HighLevel support portal. But if you go down to right here, you'll see this document is really important because this tells you how much you can send a day. Right now, when you're first starting out, you should only send 1,000 emails your first day, your second day, 2.5, 5, 6, etc. And this tells you how much you can send an hour. So think about this: in 10 hours, if you're sending 100 an hour, in 10 hours, you're going to hit your daily sending limit for day 1, day 2, etc., etc. So this is one way that you're going to make sure you're not going to wind up as spam, is following this stuff to a T. So please go through this. If you want me to break it all down in a video, I can, but let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to do that for you. All right. So once you have everything set up, you're going to come down here. Now, this is important. I love that they have this now. You first of all got the ability to just go in, and if you had certain contacts you wanted, you could select those different contacts like so. Okay, you could add them. If I didn't, you can just come through. You see the little X next to their name, and you just mark them out. Now, the next thing is your smart list. Or if I wanted all contacts, I just hit all contacts, and your entire list is uploaded right now. I recommend using Smart List. I use Smart List for people. I come right here, and then you see 2 different Smart Lists. Here's my email, all the different contacts I have for that right there. Then you have the ability to choose for tags. So if you had different tags that you wanted to send specific email. And then the last one's really cool. They just added this recently, and this is to go for a segmented audience for engagement. So you got here Contacts engaged in the last 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, engaged in the last 5 emails, subscribers disengaged in the last 5 email campaigns. So you've got ability off of how they've been engaging in your emails to be able to segment him here as well as you can set up workflows and tags, and we'll get into that more at the end of the video. Now you've got the ability to turn off the UTM tracking that we talked about before in the settings, which is right here. And then once you're cool with everything, all you would do is hit review and send, and then it would send it on out. Once your emails have been sent out, it looks something like this. You'd see that it was A/B split tested. You're able to then come right here, preview the campaign, statistics, move it to a certain calendar. You could clone it, archive, and delete it. You can then also use different filters. Then the next thing you'd want to look at now is if you wanted to send out a nurture campaign where you could add people to it. Now, originally, when you're clicking this and you're going to workflow campaigns and you hit create a campaign, it was taking you right into the workflow builder, and that workflow campaign was specifically open right here. It's a little different. They seem to have taken it out now. It doesn't have that. If I just hit new, it takes me to the workflow builder just like normal. It takes me to the workflow builder just like normal, where it used to open the workflow. So then what you do is whenever you want to create a workflow, like let's say a nurture series or first of all, let's say you have something for Black Friday coming up. So let's do from scratch right here. I started it from scratch. And then first of all, you're not going to have a trigger because you're going to dump everybody in here. You're going to dump your entire contact list. And I'm going to show you at the end of this how to dump everybody in. But you'd come here, and the first thing you do is you're going to do an event. You're going to do an email event. And you're going to go right here, set event start date. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set a specific day and time, and you're going to just pick the day that you want to send it out. If your day is coming up and it's Black Friday, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, so let's say it's Friday at, let's do 12 a.m. So it's midnight Friday is the time that we're looking at. Now, I always set the action name to associated. So set I would just say, the date, which would be the 20, it'd be 11/29/04/24, and then 12 a.m., something like that. Or you can use military time, whatever's best for you. But I just like doing that so it's easier to be able to see and notice right off the bat. Now, everything in this flow can be set off of this date now. So the first thing I'm going to do is maybe I want this to go out 2 weeks before. I want to start priming people 2 weeks before. Again, it's too late. Well, it's not too late. It's only the 5th, so we still have time for that. But let's say we wanted it 2 weeks before. So I'm going to do a wait step. So everybody's going to hit this wait step, but I'm going to do not the normal time delay. I'm going to do an event appointment delay. And now you've got 3 different settings for the event appointment delay here. You can do the before, you can do after, or the exact time. So what did we say? We wanted this going out 2 weeks before. So let's go ahead and put this out 2 days before. Wait, 14 days before. So, and I'll just put that in there and save action like so. Now, this is going to when we dump everybody in here, even though we dump the entire list, it doesn't matter if it's 10,000, 100,000, all of them are going to go. They're going to set this right here. They're going to recognize this is a set date for the workflow, and they're going to sit here and they're going to wait till 14 days before that date right there, which since we've got that set up for the 12th or 29th. Yeah, 29th, 14 days would be the 15th. So in 10 days from now, the first email would go out. And I like to do an SMS and an email, especially starting a series. I'll always go with an SMS. And this first SMS, even though we're talking about email today, will be basically, hey, check your email, is what it usually is like, hey, there's some cool stuff. There's like cool stuff coming up, check your email. And the reason why I'm doing that is not for SMS, it's for email, to get them to check their email because we're starting a series up. I might in the SMS say, hey, we're doing special offer, check for special bonus, discount code available in your email, check it out. Again, always hitting save in here. And then the next thing I would do is I'd put the email. So I'd come in and put an actual email. There we go. And then the email, I would come in and build it on out. Now, one of the things I would consider doing is having a blank template email because they changed something up recently where now you can build these to you and put your templates in here and then edit them inside the workflow builder, which you weren't able to do before. You would have to have the email saved as a template, however you want it, and then you could like import it into the workflow, and that was just dumb. But now you come in and like say I wanted this YouTube template, I could pull it in here, but now I can edit it from right here. So if I like that template, boom, pull it in here. So if you want to make them a little bit nicer or using images and a little bit more than you can in the actual email builder that they have right here, you could do it that way. You can now, which is so smart, they finally did that. You have the ability to bring it in. So I would go ahead, make a base template, sort of like what we did for the YouTube, but for one you use for this, and then use it in all of them, and then just edit it right in. Because you can come in, like I said, if we use their YouTube, I'm going in and pulls up the entire editor right here, everything you need to be able to do everything in your emails except for split tests. You can see the AB, the little lab symbol's not there, but you can come in, change it up however you wanted. You could even save it as a new template, preview it, save it. Once it's saved, it's now in that workflow. And then what I'll usually do, so I'll put the email in here. Let's go ahead and put in the email, and we'll just add the stuff here real quick. A few things that we need, F and F message. And then what I'll go to do is I just copy everything below it just for ease. So I'll come right here and I'll go copy everything below from the step here, click to put it right here. Now I've got the wait step. Now I want this to go out in 7 days. So the first one's going to be like a reminder, hey, Black Friday's coming, get ready, that type of thing. It depends on your approach for how you do your email series, as far as that go. How much do you want to bombard them? I really don't like hitting my people up too much until like 10 days, 7 days out, that type of thing. I'll give them those teaser emails leading up, 14 days, 7 days. And then from 7 days, it's like every day leading up to it, or at least 4 days out. Just depends on your email, sir, that type of thing. So this one, the 4, it was 14 days. Now we'll go 7. And then all I got to do is come right here and I just change this to 7. Boom. And now we've got that. You can then at that point delete the SMS if you didn't want to send the SMS. Maybe you just wanted the first one. You can come right here and then delete that bad boy. Boom. And then you've got that set up. Now, another thing you can do too is you can use the code, the coupon feature. If you want a video on how to set up coupons, let me know below. Give me hashtag coupon or whatever, and I'll make you videos on that. But you can come in, set all these up. You can then do branches on it too. You could come in and say, hey, did they open an email? So then if I wanted to do something to where maybe I wanted to segment the audience for people that opened an email versus didn't at this point, maybe this is like I said, this is a Black Friday one, but thinking of nurture, we want to come in here, you could then do a wait step. Again, this is another wait step, but we're not doing the time, we're not doing the event, we're not doing the contact reply, we're doing email event. You're like, what? There's an email event wait step. That's right. So what are we waiting for today? We're going to wait for people that clicked or something. We can go in here. So what you'll do is you come right here and you'll pick the email, which is the one here that we have, the email here. And then what do you want? Do you want them to be opened, clicked, unsubscribed, spam or bounce? Usually it's going to be clicked, open, or unsubscribed, one of the three. Spam, you're going to then D&D them, you're going to do something like that. But for this one, let's say that they clicked it. So we're doing that. Maybe we're doing a split here for people clicked. And you could always add the timeout if you wanted. So after a certain amount of time, they'd go through this different workflow track. But for today, we're just going to keep this simple. So this is wait for the click. So what would happen is, say you send 10,000 people here, everybody's going to be waiting here, and the only people they're getting through are people that clicked it. So keep that in mind. If you use this as a wait step, no one's going to get through unless you use the timeout, which maybe you're doing that. Maybe, hey, if they haven't clicked it within 24 hours, but you could do that, you come in here, you could go timeout, set it up for 1 day or 24 hours, for 24 hours. and save it. And now you got this wait step here for after the timeout. So now if they didn't click it, see how much you can do with this stuff? There's so much customizing, but most people just don't know what's capable. So you wait for them to click. The people that did click, we're going to get them right here. We're going to get them in another email, and we're going to hit them with another email. But this one's going to be different because they were interested and clicked on whatever it was in the last thing for the Black Friday. We're sending them, or for the nurture, or whatever it is. So now we send them another specific email that's specific to them. And then we've got the timeout one for anyone else that hasn't clicked. We could then send them a whole nother email, another, that is for people that hadn't clicked, because maybe your wording is going to be different. When they click, they're going to see the offer. Maybe they hadn't seen the offer yet, so you're still teasing it out in the people that hadn't clicked. You know what I mean? You could just wait, maybe 5 hours or whatever it is. It's really, this is up to you to play with, but I'm trying to give you an idea on how this could go. So here's your warm up, and for those that didn't click, you could then come in again. I would probably just do the wait step here and go with another wait step. And again, for this one, you're going to be waiting for the event, and the appointment event. There we go. And for this one, I would just start to do it daily. For this one, maybe like 4 days out. Wait 4 days till, and then we do something like that, and then we do our next email. Wait again. Boom, boom, boom. And then maybe you have like a condition even in here if they purchased. So think about that. You could be using a purchase tag. You come in, put an LFL. This is did they buy? That's their thing. And then you're coming in, you're like, yes, they did. So we're like, if contact details has a tag includes, and then you'd be like purchased. I know I've got probably at least one purchase tag in here. There we go. So purchase voice AI will say, now we'll save this. Now you could either, again, like I always tell you, you could do the none branch where if whatever the response is doesn't make sense and you want to loop it, like I've shown you in other videos, you could do that. Or a lot of times if that's the just no option, I'll just make it the no option. You know what I mean? So did they buy? Yes. Well, if they don't have the tag with purchase AI, everybody's going down this one. So that's obviously no, they didn't, right? So I'll go here and I'll set up, and then this one would be the email series that instead of maybe they're not going to get emails anymore because they bought. You know what I mean? This was your Black Friday special versus this one, you're going to keep hitting them up. You know what I mean? So that would be something that maybe you want this repeatedly through here. Every day, maybe you want this step included. Did they buy? Because the last thing you want to do is sort of piss off your list a little bit if you keep hitting them up with offers when they purchased already. I don't know about you, but I've had that happen to me, and I'm just like, dude, I bought already. Your marketing's awesome. Quit sending me stuff. So think about that. This might be a step that you might want to include in your email nurturing or your email Black Friday type deal. The next thing that I'd always do for a wait step, for again, we're going to go on this side because it's again for people that don't buy, use wait steps a lot. We're using the exact same one. We're going to the event, but this one we're going to go for after because guess what? They didn't buy yet. So we're still going, hey, post Black Friday special countdown. You know what I mean? How there's whatever it is. Like sometimes they'll go Black Friday, but it's like 48 hours after Black Friday special. So we're going to go for 48 hours. And then we're doing another one for 24, maybe even a countdown, depending on how much you're pushing for this special. I mean, it's really up to you. But or maybe you're doing an hourly countdown before. But now that you've learned about the wait specials, the wait functions, and how you can use them, and how then can help branch out your email, think about using tags more. Whenever people are going through, oh, those people clicked on it, boom, tagged them all as clicked or whatever. Or maybe you're now sending out that one broadcast using the way I showed you before. So that is the email builder, how to create email campaigns. Again, I think they're going to change this. I haven't had a chance to talk to the devs, but when it first came out, when you test, see, and it shows right here, and it doesn't show in marketing, which what it used to do when it first came out. So I think they've changed that, probably working on something, maybe something that didn't work. But now it used to be when you go to campaigns and you went to workflow campaigns, it would show up right there, but nothing is. So keep that in mind when that gets fixed. those campaigns will show up here, and you should only be able to, the way they had it before is you could only access them if you went through the workflow campaign area. That way those workflows were like, a real campaign set up for, hey, here's one for, Black Friday, or a nurture campaign or something. But it's just nomenclature. So hopefully that makes sense. The last thing you've got here is your statistics. You can go in, you can set all your different time frames, goes in, breaks everything down for you, shows your different emails, your different click-through rates. Take some time, go through that stuff, check it on out. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Thanks so much for watching this video. Seeing the upcoming videos. If you do have any questions or need help with your email marketing, your funnel ecosystems, we made multiple $1 million funnels, have tons of awards. You need help with your white label SaaS, there's a form down below. You can fill that out, and we'll see about what we can do for my agency to help you out. Thanks so much for watching this video. Funnel Lock out. Peace.